everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Dissolution, Part 4. Today is November 1st, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we have a Patreon set up, patreon.com/indooradventures, that hosts our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. And the easiest way to ask those questions, all you have to do is join our Discord. You can find that in the link off to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on Twitch and YouTube and all of those other places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have masks. That's right, we have Tia masks, face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all of the proceeds of those face masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard. We both go by he/him.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm going to be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter. We both go by Sheer.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I use here or whatever. I play Arjhan. I'm not going to read his thing. He's something. He uses he/him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I'm going to be playing as Cori under the Eldrin Paladin, who goes by she, they, and he.
Oh, sorry. And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, our group had encountered a unkindness of Shadarkai waiting for them in the woods as they were attempting to make their way to the Raven Queen's castle. It was during that combat that you were able to catch one of these ravens that then explained that what it feared was not the lot of you, but rather something else that existed within these woods. It was then that you guys had to face off against that something else, a creature known only as a Grim King that wandered through these woods. It was nasty, it was yucky, it sent Gwen to the demi-plane of hunger where she just started consuming a bunch of stuff, TM. Not a great time. And speaking of not great times, again, Arjhan and Gwen have both been suffering ill effects from being in the Shadowfell after your guys' entry into this plane ended up turning out for the worse. However, as we ended last session with Caelum the Remoraz digging his way into a hole in the ground before casting his curious cabin, we are having a little bit of a resty time to kind of figure things out. And as the four of you made your way into this curious cabin, this demi-plane that is separate from the Shadowfell, Arjhan, both you and Gwen began to feel lighter. You begin to feel the weight of the Shadowfell actually lift off of you to the point where that flaw that you have had since you have arrived here is no longer in play while you are in this demi-plane.
Oh man, what a fucking day, am I right? Huh.
Yeah.
Just another day in the life of adventures. Haha.
Caelum extends a hand, a towel appears, throws it over his shoulder. I'm gonna go clean up.
Alright, cool. Anybody want a beer?
Ale, beer, wine. We have like a Chardonnay downstairs, if that's your thing.
You know it's not.
There's like whiskey. You just can't take it outside.
Oh, Okay, all right. Wait, if I get drunk in here, does that mean when I go outside I won't be drunk anymore?
If you drink from your magical tankard that doesn't get you drunk, yeah.
Solid.
Speaking of things that affect you, depending on where you are, do I need to do an insight check to determine whether or not they're being afflicted with whatever ills have befallen them in the Shadowfell?
I would say that there is no real need for an insight check on this one, mostly because nothing interesting would happen if you then failed said insight check. Looking at your party members, I would say that Gwen definitely has had a change of attitude since entering into the Curious Cabin versus being outside.
I think that Cori's gonna sort of do that stare at Gwen and sort of that squinting, sort of huh, and then go step outside of the cabin for a second, and then step back in, and then just sort of do that back and forth and see if they can feel any sort of change.
I would say it's there is a very stark difference between being inside the cabin versus being outside of the cabin. Inside of the cabin, you have existed in this cabin before. 'Tis a nice place. Being outside of the cabin, there is a weight of negativity that just seems to permeate the air, almost like when you would arrive to school and you know that there's going to be a test that day that you did not study for. There is just this
Dread.
there's this sense of dread that just seems to linger in the air around here.
Caelum just opens the door to the bathroom and pokes his head out. Cori, can you shut the door? You're letting the misery in.
Sure. Cori shuts the door, still sort of staring outside, with a little concern and confusion. Cori's gonna go mull on that over that long rest.
Okay, and Arjhan. Arjhan, as you enter into Caelum's Curious Cabin, that fear, that sense that you have, at least that was exacerbated by being in the Shadowfell, seems to have at least retracted itself. You still have those levels of stress from dealing with things such as dark holes and losing your friends into vacuous places. But all things considered, at least you aren't necessarily worried about strangers trying to use you for their own ends as much anymore.
Arjhan, still looks pretty damn bad, all things considered. So I'm gonna go get a beer.
Okay. So going into the bar basement of the Curious Cabin, I like to imagine that it's one of those what is it, when it was really popular in the 60s and 70s to have just a bar in your basement. It has those weird pillars that aren't really there for much of anything. The floor is an orange and cream colored tiled linoleum. Everything's that weird orangish color, but knowing, it being the Curious Cabin, there's still a very rustic feel to the rest of it. Would you say that this is far off from what they find down here?
I approve. There's some sort of animal skin rug down there, and a table with green felt on it with 8 balls and sticks surrounding it.
Oh yeah.
They took him to a billiards place once.
It's a game that Caelum made up. He thinks that it's an entirely unique game to the cabin.
It is not.
Jacksonville style, baby.
So you are able to relax at this bar at least a little bit. Gwen, behind this counter, you see that there is this silhouette of a bartender. It's one of those you see a little black vest, the white sleeves coming out from the side. There's a little wrap around that has a playing card sticking up for absolutely no reason.
I want to say that there is no head. There's a like wisp of smoke that's coming
Yeah,
out
yeah,
like
yeah.
around the neckline, and then like the owl face mask.
It is an unseen servant, but you choose to like dress up the unseen servant in most certainly seen clothes.
Gwen grabs her drink from the bar, turns to Arjhan. What's a thing like you doing in a place like this?
What?
I don't know, I heard it somewhere. Sorry.
People generally react well to being called thing.
I didn't mean it like a thing. I meant like... I don't know. I mean, it's been a weird day, right?
Yeah. Yeah. it
You
really
alright?
has. No, not really.
You want to talk about it?
I don't know.
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, I felt really fucking weird out there. Like, I've never... I mean, you know me. I don't know if I can die forever. But I really kind of felt like this was it. Like, this is definitely the place. If I'm going down anywhere, it's definitely going to be here. And if I go down, y'all are going down, obviously. So, I mean, I don't feel that way now. It's just weird, you know? Like, just this, I don't know, it felt like there was like a weight on my body. And as soon as we got here, it lightened. It was the weirdest thing. Is that depression? Was I depressed?
I mean, that could be one way of experiencing that, yeah.
Oh. It sucks. How are you feeling about this whole Raven Queen thing?
Not great. We have gotten in over our heads with a lot of things,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me not to see this as much of the same.
Yeah.
Especially whenever this plane is getting to us. Well, it's getting to me.
I think us
bad as
is
it
a
has.
good. Yeah. I mean, do you think it'll work? This spell thing?
It has to.
Yeah. And, you know, out of doing the impossible, we're kind of good at that. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, like even fighting Kaiser, Crozen, the dude with the worms.
The thing that killed you twice?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's it. So I'm saying, like, if he, I'm okay. I'm just acting. If he could kill me twice and I'm still here and we still defeated him, I mean, it's a pretty good thing, right? Like, we're pretty chill. We're pretty good at what we do. And like, what?
Your confidence is admirable.
Thank you. I mean, okay. Yes, we're going into a castle by a god that is like protected by a lot of things, and she has a lot of followers, and we're really kind of going in to kind of mess up the balance of things here, maybe everywhere. But it was determined that this is a good thing. And if it's good, and if it's something that we really set our minds to, then I think that it's something that we can do.
Right, but there's every possibility that as soon as you and I step back out again, you are going to go right into your doomed, near suicidal state. And I'm not going to be able to trust anybody.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that is a possibility. I wonder if there's something like we have that. There was a ring that stopped us from, you know, that stopped the people from getting in my mind. Do you think like a mind shielding thing would work for that?
I don't know.
I mean, if anyone should have it, it should be you, because we need you to trust us. And you can look out for me, right? But if you're still like not trusting people, then I can't really look out for you, you know?
I don't trust myself with that.
To look out for me?
I don't have a good track record with that.
You saved my life. Like, you dove into danger to save me from Worm Dude.
And then you died immediately afterwards.
But you got
Disintegrated, snatched out of my arms. That happened again right before we fell into here. That happened again whenever we went against that creature just now.
Arjhan. She steps up onto the bar and puts her hands on his face. I'm still right here.
Despite our best efforts.
Because of our best efforts. I mean, yes, everyone died. Things are bad. I'm still here. You're still here. And until that's not the case, we gotta keep pushing forward, right? Because if we keep going down the path of self-doubt and
then
all
we
that,
eventually will reach a point where that is not the case.
okay, well, that's a bad way to look at it. Are you sure you're not still under the effects of the place?
No. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. Look, no matter what happens to me, I promise I'm going to find a way back. And I know, no matter what happens to you, please don't bite me. And I know, whatever happens to you, I will go back to the hells and talk to your supervisor and get you back. Like, yes, bad things are going to happen to us. And, you know, it probably will. But we always have each other, no matter what. Even if we're on different planes, even if we're, you know, dead. We have that push, that drive to get back. Plus, my God really likes me. And I know yours does too. So we kind of got that going for us.
Whenever you say that, there is just like an expression of like pained doubt on Arjhan's face.
Look, I know things are kind of shit right now. And they're gonna be until we defeat Caius. It was on the tip of my tongue. I'm so sorry. Until we defeat Caius, we're really kind of on the edge. And I think maybe every once in a while, we need to be able to put that away for a second and just live in the moment, you know? Because if you keep worrying about this the way you are and the way I can see you are, then it's not going to go well. Because you know I can't be the rock. I'm too chaotic. You got to be my rock. The thing I always come back to. Can you be that for me?
No.
Can you try?
I can try. This... I don't know what it is about me specifically, but this plane seems to want me to have a constant reminder of my inability to protect anybody or trust anybody.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of flipping our flaws on us, if I'm going to be honest. You know, like, I know I'm reckless in general, but this place is kind of making it worse. Do you want to do this? Because we can go, you and me.
We said that we would be here for Caelum. We will.
Okay. Do you want a drink?
Click and thank you for all them biddies.
Wow.
That is a lot of biddies.
Thank
That's,
you.
thank you.
Gwen, I feel like you hopping up onto the bar to like speak to Arjhan. The bartender that is there is currently just like cleaning the mud tracks from your boots off of the table during this.
Mm-hmm.
Until eventually you ask Arjhan if he would like anything to drink. And then at that point, the bartender becomes like attentive once more, just like, oh yes, this is my job.
I'm like, I mean, like this entire time he's had like a beer in his hand that he just never taken a sip out of.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you ask this question, he doesn't answer. He just like stares at the bottle and is unable to make a decision.
Right.
Anxiety.
Haha. Do you need anything from me, Arjhan? Is there anything that I can do for you?
No, I appreciate you talking and you being here.
You want me to tell you a story?
Sure.
Okay. She sits down on the bar, like facing his stool, and starts to regale him with a story from her time as a bouncer, one of the many jobs that she had, and about said firing from that job. But it was an epic tale and an epic battle in the small scale of what it was.
Okay.
And then we keep drinking, or Gwen keeps drinking, and we'll keep telling stories as long as she's need to.
Okay. So Gwen and Arjhan are regaling each other. Well, Gwen's doing most of the regaling down at the basement bar. Caelum, you said that you were going to be taking a bath, getting cleaned up, as best you can. And then Cori, you were just like ready to start meditating. Crank that shit out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caelum's gonna ask Cori to stand outside the bathroom.
All right. Is there more than one bathroom? Is there a community bathroom?
There can be as many. It's Caleb's curious cabin. It's up to him.
He can literally make any room he wants.
Cori could clean up too. So Cori will also take a bath in like I imagine it's like I just watched the Grand Budapest Hotel, so like I'm imagining several like bathtubs in a row
Yeah.
with like a little privacy screen in between.
Cool. While she's there, I'm gonna ritual cast Contact Other Plane.
Okay.
Just sinking right into the bathwater, and he's gonna try and contact Brother Groon.
Okay.
Cori's on standby, just sort of like shedding armor and also like basically inspecting wounds. Cori took a beating in the last fight.
Yeah. Looking at all your HPs.
There's like a set of servants that come out of nowhere and begin to mend your armor.
Oh, thank you very much.
They just have like it's like Hades, where you just see the little like text bubble above their head that has like a little happy smile.
I fucking love those.
One of them has like a little heart.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you are contacting Brother Groon.
Attempting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll D100.
Uh, 39.
Okay. That's good. So you lay yourself into the water, and when you meet, you enter into the space that you normally would whenever you are in your contact. You are, although with Brother Groon, normally you met inside of his study chamber. Last you recall, Brother Groon was MIA, to put it the best. So when you meet him yet again, this time he is actually in an afterlife of sorts. Where he is dark. It is subterranean. You can hear the sound of distant water just sort of dropping in an almost rhythmic style. And you see what looks like a large statue of what appears to be a stone giant deep in contemplation. And as you appear and are in front of this statue, without a need to call out, you see the eyes of the statue blink. And there is recognition.
Hi.
Curious.
I know it's been some time since we last met, and for the most part, we didn't actually leave off on the best of terms. I wasn't exactly myself.
There is the sound of stone grinding as Groon nods towards you. I am aware.
I'm following in your last disciple's footsteps. In fact, I think I'm nearing the fruition of most of his plans. I need advice. And I understand if you are not willing to give it.
Nods again. And you see, like, again, like they sort of have that, like, curled fist underneath their chin. And then they just sort of, like, tilt their head in an inquisitive manner.
My friends and I are in the realm of the Shadow Queen, or Raven Queen, and I feel it's a bit more than at least I had planned on. I don't exactly know how to proceed. We don't know any of the terrain, their numbers. We went in half-cocked. Did Nightfeather ever tell you anything about how he was getting into the Queen's Citadel, or any other parts of his plans?
No. It was not part of our conversations. After the Queen left, he stopped coming to his lessons.
Right. I don't know if my party would want to stick around for this. If I have to do this alone, then I still need more firepower, because I can't do this alone. The time you were gone, I became the Magister of Misra. Still trying to wrap my head around that. I guess if anything, maybe I should keep a positive attitude. As much as I can, anyway, in the Shadowfell.
And Green just continues to look at you.
No. That wasn't actually the only reason I wanted to try and contact you.
Hmm.
I'm sorry for the things that I've done to you, the Order of the Silver Quill.
And you hear a single deep rumbling chuckle come from Groon. And he says, I slept for quite some time, and now I sleep again. These are one and the same, though one is asleep without waking. Or so I thought. But you are here. You have awoke me. Not fully, not to what I used to be, but from a slumber that I was unaware of. You say you apologize for your actions. Was that you? The individual that struck me down was not my apprentice. They may have shared the same form, yes. But do you think that that individual was you?
If I'm capable of such actions, then maybe.
Are you?
I'd like to
Again,
think
thank you
not.
again for the biddies.
I'd like to think not.
Then what do you have to apologize for?
Well, honestly, I still feel like it should be said. And that's a thought coming from me. I guess If all it had taken was a lot of conviction, this job would have gotten done a lot sooner. I say job, it shouldn't be called that. I guess what I really needed was to air out some thoughts.
You see Groon has a slight smirk upon their giant stone face.
Did I say something strange?
You woke me from my slumber, simply to air thoughts.
Well, as you said, you are my mentor.
Was
My mentor.
if you have become Magister, as you say you have, I have nothing left to teach.
Yes. I've had so many people guide me for so long, I don't know about choosing correct paths anymore, but I do feel like finishing what Nightfeather started is the right choice.
And you walk a noble path.
Thank you. And may you sleep undisturbed.
I will try. And with that, Groon just sort of like puts their head back onto their chin, and you see their stone eyes close until they have that statuesque look about them. That is roughly around the time that your spell would end.
As the spell's ending, Caelum gives him a very deep bow.
He does not seem to notice, but you bow nonetheless, and that's the important part. Cori, Caelum has been very quiet during this bath for quite some time.
It's a good sign.
Pull back the curtains, he's under the water, not breathing. Oh wait, that's normal.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He's fine. This is fine. When Caelum comes to, Cori is just sitting on a bench off to the side. There's a golden light emitting from their fingers as they knit together wounds on their body.
He'll sit up from the bath and sigh.
Did you find out what you needed to?
Not really. More questions than anything.
You seem to be coming across a lot of those lately.
Did your mentor ever give you... Oh, what's the word for it? It's not non-advice. Cryptic messages and... Well... Anyway.
Somewhat.
Are you...
I think to some degree mentors want you to figure it out for yourself. Not Cypress. Cypress is a lot more forward, direct.
Doesn't like to deal with the metaphysical.
I mean, there's only so many ways that you can tell somebody to block a sword.
You could also dodge, you know, he's starting to pull himself out of the tub.
That was the problem.
Why won't you dodge?
I kept on trying to block it when I really should have been dodging.
Why is dodging a subroutine? Sorry.
No, I see where you go. I see what you're doing. This is going to be hard on Gwen and Arjhan. We knew it would be, and it has been.
I didn't exactly know how to address it. I didn't want to say anything unless I made everything a lot worse.
I mean, I knew that they had their own misgivings about the Raven Queen, but this place... I'm afraid it's wounding them in ways I may not be able to heal.
Gwen has always been battle-thirsty, but with that creature we fought in the forest, that was borderline self-destructive.
It reminds me of Cypress. He's doing a lot better now, by the way.
It's good. I'm going to level with you, Cori. In our years together, you'd know that I'm not a people person. I don't exactly know how to speak. Could you talk to the other two? Check up on them?
I'll do what I can.
Thanks.
As they stand, they just sort of wince and hold their side a bit and say, I'm going to rest first.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting in the bath. You might open up your wounds.
Okay. Cori ambles away from the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like, Cori was just about to step into a tub and just like, okay.
This will be here for like the next 7 to 9 hours, so sleep, heal, come back, and then take a bath.
Do you think we'll be able to rest like this again before we meet her?
I'll have the spell handy, at the very least. There was a shift in mood when Arjhan and Gwen stepped in.
I think that's been good for them at least.
I'll get some tea started.
Can you go over the ritual again?
Which one?
The big one.
In accordance to the will of whomever I'm casting the Soul Severance on, it will split them into two. Essentially a good half and a bad half. I'm unsure if this will leave them in any weakened state, but one can't exist while the other is there. So when this ritual is completed, I guess even after we've fought the Raven Queen, we might have to fight her again.
Excellent. So, what you need from me is her name and then my sword.
And the mote of potential that Corvain gave his life to retrieve.
All right. I'll be ready.
Thanks.
Just a hint of a smile. Sort of clap you on the back and then go find a place to quietly meditate for the time being. And speaking of quietly meditating, stress rules.
Yes.
Is there anything that Cori can do to help reduce Arjhan's stress level?
Let me look them up.
I think it's a lesser resto. Also, it should be noted, Cori, that you have had a companion. We did not remember to bring them up last session, but there is a magpie that has been hanging out with you named Cyril.
Who?
No, that's an owl. We're talking about a magpie.
I don't know magpie name or sounds.
Magpies
Onomatopoeia.
are mimics. They can't say who.
Oh, okay. Spoil my joke.
I think of it more of a springboard. You set them up, I'll knock them down.
Lesser restoration reduces the target stress score by 1. Greater restoration reduces a character stress score to 0.
Okay. I don't think...
Calm emotions can be used to suppress them for the spell's duration.
All right. I think that Cori's going to, while meditating, sort of ruminate on the physical effects that recent events have had on Arjhan. And having been through the recovery period with Cypress, would be aware of the effects of the physical effects of stress on people. So we'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
I'm justifying why why this is happening now.
Sure. No, I would say that now would be a good time for Cori to be doing that, mostly because trying to think ahead as far as, hey, your friends are shit's getting a little wonky when you're out in the Shadowfell. Inside this place, things seem to be fine, relatively speaking. But for the most part, it is definitely something that you would want to consider. And Cyril is sees you meditating and sort of just is asking you what are you thinking about? That kind of thing. Just very curious. But if you tell them to go explore the rest of the Curious Cabin, they're totally on board for that. This is a brand new place with infinite possibilities as far as places for a bird to explore.
I mean, in a literal sense, right? Isn't the Curious Cabin actually just an
Yes.
infinite cabin?
As it's as big as Caelum wants it to be.
Within 50 square cubes.
Yeah. There's still 50 square cubes of places for a bird to explore, though.
I mean, I imagine at a certain point it just starts being
loops.
recursing on itself. You walk for a certain amount of time in one direction, you'll come across the place that you were before.
Yeah.
Like PT.
Yeah. And I would say
So relaxing.
At one point, Cyril finds their way into the basement bar and is just snacking on nuts for a little bit before then continuing to fly. They're just enjoying being here. This seems fun for them.
They grab a nut, fly to the highest part of the cabin, drop it so that it smashes on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a bird? Are there birds in here?
It's like the mall.
Yeah, when a pigeon gets in the mall, you're how the fuck are you here?
No, there's a bird in the airport.
There's a bird.
What the fuck is an airport?
Airport.
We all know about the bird in the airport. Nobody's seen this before. There's a horse in the hospital. Nights in the courtyard.
Yeah. So unless there is anything else that would like to be discussed or brought up, Arjhan?
Yes. Arjhan is having a difficult time trusting himself, so he is going to talk to himself. I would like to cast Contact at the Plains.
Okay.
Where?
I would bring that up in the bar.
Have you told Gwen that you've been doing this yet?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess if I've been having this difficulty trusting myself, I guess the most obvious place to start with is myself.
I didn't get to go in your heart last time, but I don't know if I want to do that.
No. I'm just gonna do something real quick, and I'm gonna reach into the bag of holding, get out the scrying mirror, and I'm going to like prop it up on the coffee table that is definitely in the middle of the conversation pit. That's definitely down here.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, buddy, whatever you need to do. Yeah. Gwen's just convinced that they're going to talk to themselves in the mirror. Like just their regular reflection. Yeah, no, whatever you need to do, bud.
You are welcome to be here.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't. I wasn't gonna leave, but I now probably realize that I should have politely. No, I'd like to if you don't mind.
I cast contact at the plane.
Okay, roll that D100.
Oh shit, I have to do that. I rolled a 22.
That's good. That's still solid.
Not for nothing, but you also have to make an intelligence save.
Is it?
Yeah, it's an intelligence save or you go insane for a while.
I thought that was the D100. I don't know what the spell does.
I don't know this spell.
Oh, hold the phone. Is Arjhan doing the thing that like we make Caelum have a chaperone for?
Well, I thought mine was
Gwen's
different.
here.
Can
know what,
Gwen cast Greater Restoration?
I thought mine was different.
We've been playing it the other way. Let's just do it.
Yeah, I've been doing it basically like if you rolled less than like a 10 on a D100 roll, that's when the fun shit starts happening.
When you cast a spell, make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw. I rolled a 6.
Well,
So I should be taking 66 psychic damage and go insane.
well, you still have your blood die up, I believe, right?
That is before I make the roll.
Okay. Cool. Neat. And while you are insane, you can't take actions, can't understand what others say, can't read, and can only speak in gibberish. As per the ruling of
Please
the spell.
describe to me what Gwen is seeing in this moment, because Arjhan does a spell, and then
Well, I'm taking a lot of psychic damage and I'm essentially stunned, right?
Yes.
That's pretty much what happened to me this weekend as I suffered through a 2-day migraine.
oh babe,
So that's physically what Arjhan looks like. It's just like you get the sense that he is in a lot of pain and just has difficulty forming words and everything else. I don't know what's happening with the mirror.
So with the mirror, looking into it, Gwen, you can see that there is it looks like it's reflecting the same bar, but as this spell occurs, you see that like the bar scene changes behind you, and it's almost like a open starry sky. And you see a hooded figure that has like the twin yellow glowing eyes that look like it looks like Arjhan has just shifted, but he's still wearing his hood from let's say like episode 5, like one of those like just like early renditions of Arjhan. And as like the Arjhan that is sitting here with you looks like he is just suffering this immense amount of pain. The Arjhan through the mirror, you just see like the eyes like squint a little bit and mouth the words, "Oh shit." And then like grimace a little bit. And they sort of just like hands in their pockets, like wait.
is this like Arjhan? Is this like are you looking at your past?
And you see them like pull out what looks like a pocket watch, and then mouth the words 3, 2, 1, and then the image just fades back as the 1 minute time of contact other plane ends.
What the fuck was that? Are you okay?
Arjhan is unresponsive. There's
Hey, buddy.
that nose blood that you thought had stopped for a while. It's back.
Oh shit! Grabs a napkin and starts dabbing. Cori, can someone get Cori, please? Arjhan, what the fuck is going on?
Cyril just flits away. Cori, you are trying to enjoy a nice meditation, trying to think about your party members, about how you can best help them. Cyril enters into your chamber and makes their appearance known by dropping a nut from high up directly in front of you. And then mimics Gwen's voice of just, Cori, can someone get Cori?
Cori now presenting as masculine. Like eyes just sort of like open up, look around for Gwen. Notice it's just Cyril. There's just kind of a moment of like, oh, it's just Cyril, and then it's like, shit, like scramble to their feet and just like run to go find Gwen.
Yeah, and you know that the last spot that Gwen was in the basement bar.
The lights are all turned really low down. There's no music anymore.
And Arjhan has just like gone horizontal.
It's all right, buddy. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Cori, keep it down.
What happened?
I don't know. He did a spell, and then he just like started going, and then like an image of him from the past showed up in his mirror, and then he got a nosebleed, and now the lights are bothering him, and all the sounds bothering him, and I don't know. He's just like he's not even talking.
Cori, you can make an Arcana check.
Remember when I couldn't whisper as Gwen?
You've come a long way.
I'm
Acting.
so proud of you. I got a 19.
A 19.
Which
Cori,
is pretty darn good. I don't have anything. I've got a 0 in Arcana.
hey
Sorry,
Cori,
go on.
remember that one time that you and Caelum held hands to do a contact other planes, and then you didn't make your saving throw when you went to talk to the Raven Queen?
Huh.
It's very, like, Arjhan looks like he is having a similarly bad time.
Cori kind of swears under his breath. There's a reason I'm supposed to be here for these sorts of things. And he'll put a hand on Arjhan and attempt a cleansing touch. Use your action to end one spell on yourself or a willing creature.
Okay. Yeah. That would do it. Looking at the way the spell works. So yeah, Arjhan, you remember looking in the mirror, getting ready to do this thing. Next thing you know, all of the lights are dim. There's no music on. Everything is very quiet. This is a low sensory zone. And Cori is there just like, hey, buddy. Like, giving you that lay on hands magic touch.
Appreciate that.
So, contact other planes.
Wait, another plane.
Well, it's hardly another. Well, I guess it would be another plane if it was here. I was talking to myself.
Yeah,
What?
from the past.
No.
What?
That
What?
Cave of Crystals thing was about, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, I'm still a little behind on what.
I don't understand it myself. You talk to yourself?
Yes. There Do you all remember whenever we were in that tree? And
Yeah.
it showed you another version of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, there are many versions of us. And mine have started reaching out to me.
Oh, is it like that? Like if you decide to like do one thing, then like you have like this split off that happens, and that you did the one thing, and then the other person did the other thing, and the other like version of you, and then like every decision you make branches off, and then there's like a bunch of different branches and a bunch of different people that are you, but they're not here.
Actually, yes.
In the
Yes.
Feywild, we call that the butterfly effect.
We call it dimension hopping.
Not really the point, but we're about to go into something incredibly dangerous, and it would behoove many, many, many realities if the name of Caius was not lost in this one. If
Oh,
we
so
die.
Right. So you wanted to tell someone you could trust.
Yes.
I feel like I should be offended, but I couldn't remember his like fake name. So I get that.
All right. Cori sort of stands up, kind of slaps the bar and says, "Some tea, if you would."
Yeah. You are made tea.
Cori comes back with some tea, sets it down next to Arjhan. First of all, I have been neglecting my duties. There are certain physical ailments that, being under extreme stress, can have, and I have, for the most part, been ignoring all signs of those. And you definitely, and he just sort of like uses his thumb to like raise Arjhan's eyebrow ridge and like look into his eyes, showing signs of it. So, with your permission, I'd like to do some restoration.
He'll nod.
All right. I will cast Lesser Restoration twice for your 2 levels of stress.
I have 3.
I will do it thrice then. It very much helps that I have that ability that allows me to regain 3rd level spell slots. It probably hasn't been long enough for a long rest yet, but like probably a few short rests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, lesser restoration works on that. Good to know.
Learned a few things when I was taking care of Cypress. Speaking of Cypress, he's a Caelum now.
Okay.
Told him that he was under no obligation to become one, but he insisted. Point being,
You're not then?
That.
There are 4 Caelums.
Oh, right. He's the winner guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Point being, I gave him the choice of whether or not to put himself in that situation, and I never did that for you. And for that, I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're referring to.
What I'm saying is, all of this, going into the Shadowfell, facing Caius. Even back when I went to the damn moon for the first time, it never occurred to me to tell you that you didn't have to do this. And you don't. You can go home if you want.
In all of these things, were you going to accept and go face these things?
Alone? Hopefully not.
But
There
you
are-
would have.
If I had to.
Then we were going to help you. I mean, I don't want to speak for Gwen, but I feel like that's fairly obvious.
Yeah. I mean, even in our worst times, when we're not on the same page, we're still a group, and we have each other's backs. Right?
Cori's eyes are beginning to glisten a little bit, and he brushes them for a moment and stands up. Well, I suppose that's settled then. Next time you cast a spell that could potentially hurt you, please let me know first.
Yeah, general warning would be good on that. And, just saying.
I was unaware of the effects of that, actually.
Ah, all right.
We live and learn.
Are you going to do it again?
I feel like I should.
Attaboy.
Well, I'll be here.
I would very much like to disseminate the name of Caius amongst my alternate reality version. So I would like to cast this spell again.
Okay. Caius's name you have not found yet. Because that
Shit,
was...
what did we get? The ritual. We got the ritual.
Yes.
We got the ritual.
You did get that one.
I'm
Caius's name you
talking
gotta
about
go to
the
Orcus for.
ritual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Make that intelligence saving throw. Be sure to add plus 5.
The 19.
19. Okay, 19 is good.
Also +5.
24.
That's much better. Much
And
better.
that's why
this
I'm
time
here,
around.
baby!
So you want to disseminate it across all of the other like potential Arjhans, correct?
Like I can give it to one,
Okay.
and then at least another one who hopefully has access to
Yeah.
ways to talk
It
to
seems
other
like
ones.
the best one that you would want to target is the one who reached out to you initially, as they had also said that they were going to try and get in contact with the others anyways.
Do I have control over that?
I would say because it is with the nature of contact other plane, you designate the individual that you are going to be coming into contact with, that you would be able to differentiate like which variant you would be talking to. So I would say that you'd be able to contact that specific Arjhan.
Okay.
And then Gwen, Cori, inside this mirror, you see the same thing, or at least Gwen, you see the same thing occur, where like the night sky sort of fades away, in its place is this hooded version of Arjhan. And this time, though, when they look at you, Arjhan, you see there's like a quizzical side eye.
No migraine this time.
Good. And you see them just sort of give like a little bit of a thumbs up.
We have the ritual to seal Kai's away. It will only work once. It can only be accessed once, but we are about to go into something very dangerous, so I want to make sure that the information doesn't die with me.
Of course.
And I will explain. I will try to TLDR within a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I would say you see basically like you hold up or like you describe the situation, like you describe like the rhyme scheme that Asmodeus had given unto you as to how to actually perform this binding ritual. And this other Arjhan continues to listen. And at the end, you see them pull up a draconic claw to the side of their temple and pull out what looks like a thin blue sheet of paper. It's a spell that you have actually seen Caelum perform before, as they just make a mental track of everything that they have, all of the information that they have just received.
It will only work once. We are going to try and handle it, assuming that we do not die.
In this situation where you are not successful on the day that you are going to perform this, let one of us know. Let me know. And I'll check back in with you within 24 hours. If I do not hear from you, we will assume that you failed. And we will try again.
Is he talking about the deadly thing that I'm worried about, or us actually performing the ritual?
Performing the ritual.
Okay. I affirm.
Okay. And Arjhan nods and says, I will do my best to inform as many of the others as I can, that we have the means of doing this once and for all. Some might not be as willing to listen as others, but I think they'll understand the severity of the situation.
No pressure.
Gwen, do you wave?
Yeah, Gwen like leans into the background and just waves.
There is like Arjhan, when you say no pressure, and Gwen, you wave, you see that there is like a quick intake of air that just like stops very quickly. And yeah, no pressure. And then they sort of just have like this more like downward cast look. And do you have anything else that you want to say?
I think we're past our minute.
Yep. So as they say this, the image fades back.
Oh my god, that Gwen's fucking dead.
Yeah.
That was really cool. What's his world like?
You're all dead.
Oh.
Real this
Oh
time?
God.
That
Anyway.
Cori must have done something right.
And I think that is the perfect time to call for a break for tonight's session. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place. Let's grab a food, grab a drink.
Wings.
Grab a friend. possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. We'll see y'all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back.
Hey, Steven!
Yes, RJ.
You ever get the feeling that you're being watched?
Sometimes.
What the fuck? Get out of here!
My house.
Get out of here!
This is my room.
Oh my god, friends!
Friends.
I don't think you guys appreciate for how long they had to sit there so quietly for that bit.
I saw them there when I came in,
Aw.
but it's perfect. I love them. They all know this.
Also, when I said that, I have my snacks right here, I wasn't talking about y'all.
Oh, fuck you.
Wow. That's the betrayal of the day.
It's always gonna be RJ.
Look, let's just all acknowledge we're all snacks, and that's
for sure.
fine. We're all snacks, but RJ's a meal. Love you,
Pretzels?
BB.
Gross.
All right, so who's ready for the Shadowfell? Yeah!
Remember the baby?
Remember the baby? That should have been the name of this arc.
I swear to God, he almost forgot, RJ. How dare you?
No.
And let's go.
The Alamo, the furtive pygmy, the baby. Things you do not forget.
The Alamo, the Fruit of Pygmy, the Giants, or the Titans.
All right, so Arjhan has successfully contacted Other Plane. Cori has said some pretty dark shit, all things considered.
Lights in the courtyard, that.
Yeah. I have a merch idea for Remember the Baby now because of that Remember the Titans reference. However, things are going well, I guess. Is there anything that you all want to do before you settle in for a long rest?
Caelum
Any
is in the
other
foyer.
things?
Caelum's in the foyer. He has wheeled out 3 chalkboards, and he's just been writing red strings all across them, just trying to get his thoughts ducks in a row.
Dear, what is this?
Starting from here is when I have met all of you, ending up to where we have been here. This middle board is blank because that was the time I was abducted by my not real father asshole person. I'm just trying to get everything sorted.
You're muted.
We did not catch that.
Oh, what? Hello?
Well, it's good because I was using the wrong voice. Why do we have to have this sorted?
No, this is a me thing.
A you thing.
Yeah, when I was speaking to Brother Grun, I told him that, hey, in my entirety of my life, I've been guided, and now that I'm actually doing something for myself, I have no fucking idea.
What are you trying to process right now?
Well, I know this is the path I want to go through. It's the journey there to get to said. It's hard to articulate. It's this feeling that, yes, this is what we should be doing. Are we going about it the right way?
With Caius or the Raven Queen?
Both.
I feel like this is a conversation that probably should have happened before we got into the Shadowfell.
Yeah, well, now that I have some time to process.
We are here right now because we're helping you. You are here, I assume, because we are here to rescue your shield friend, Amaris.
Yes.
Right?
We're going to help the Raven Queen by helping her sort out her mess, because that was your past life's
Goal,
goal.
correct.
Yes. And everything with Caius was because her goddess put that on us.
Also, like saving the world, a big thing.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Technically not my goddess anymore, but you know, that now it's sort of a greater good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Greater
But
good.
it seems like there has been a divine hand in a lot of this. That doesn't mean that your own goals aren't also going toward
Important.
that.
Yeah.
I think you're looking for an answer and you don't know the question. What's going on, Caelum?
It's like just anxious, I guess. Sorry.
Well,
I'm about
honestly,
to-
that makes me feel better because, you know, sometimes you do things when you're like, yes, I know what I'm doing, and then everything explodes. So not knowing is maybe the step in the right direction.
For the most part, we're pretty good at improvising. Please don't toss my cats like that.
I'm sorry, he was playing with the nice stuff. I'm trying to do things over here.
All right, all right, all right.
For you audiocast listeners, this is why you should tune in and watch the VODs. 'Cause I have no way to properly describe via audio medium what just happened there.
Caelum, do you believe that you can cast this thing?
Well, given it wasn't written by me specifically, yes.
Okay, that's a good step, right? You know, getting there, we're just gonna have to be stealthy, right?
We are kind of in her domain. I believe she can spot us out.
Okay, fair. But we need to convince her anyways.
Cori
Right?
raises his hand.
Yes,
Yes, my dude.
Coriander.
I keep on lighting up like a firefly. I don't know if stealth is going to be an option.
Plus, her Shadakai also already noticed us.
And
Okay,
They
so we
are-
walk in.
everywhere.
So we walk in with confidence, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Could I make a history check replaying the battle in my head to see if there was anything hinky? Because there was one Shadarkai that would stay in the tree and not engage.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
The one that I very fondly choked.
It was a fun time.
24?
24. So given what you know about having encountered the Shadarkai, and given what you know about the interactions of field units, of squad units, the one that stayed in the tree, the one that did not engage, was a scout. Through and through. They may never have intended in engaging in battle with the others, so that way they could, much in a similar way that ravens do in the real world, where their cause can help communicate in a much wider spread. You think that they were more of like a like Civil War style, where they would have like the trumpeter, like having somebody to make loud noises that lets everyone in this vicinity know of what is going on in specific areas, as they are able to have a much louder, a caw that carries more than such a yell. Likewise, staying in this raven form, as you witnessed that they are indeed lycanthropes for the most part, seems like it is more advantageous for quick getaways if you just want to do a reconnaissance mission. Also, in case there is a large lumbering eldritch giant that sounds like a child's birthday party getting played through a rusty sonograph on its way, it seems like it's a better time to just be a raven and get the fuck out of there than it is to have to switch in to a more human form. It seems like that one specifically was meant to act as a scout.
If we do want to approach the Raven Queen's citadel stealthily, maybe we could cause a distraction somewhere else and pull our forces that way.
Oh,
The raven that Arjhan had in hand was most likely some sort of relay scout to pass on information to other Shatterkai units.
Sorry.
What's my Corvid's friend's name?
Cyril.
Cyril. Sorry.
The magpie.
Pardon you, Cyril.
Just like opens its beak and makes a coughing sound, closes it.
Their mouth.
I have magics that would allow me to disguise us all. If that would be useful.
If we need a distraction far away, it's possible that I can do that and get back to the castle. We'll be able to find a rendezvous point with you, largely unseen.
If we want to have a more divided front, I could polymorph an inanimate object into a creature and send it off in a different direction.
Isn't that like big magic? Don't we want to say that?
I think we would want to say that.
All right.
See, I'm learning. All right. The question I guess we should ask is, do we need to approach stealthily?
If we could avoid expending as many resources as we can before we can get into the citadel, that would be so much the better. We don't know if there are
fighting an army if I could.
We don't know if there are any blind spots within the citadel itself in case we need to take a rest.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I should have written down my Corvid friend's name. Could you say it again? I'll write it
Cyril.
this time.
Seriel. Or Serial.
Oh, okay. Cyril. How stealthy are you?
So stealthy. One with the shadows. Like, pops up, puffs their chest a little bit.
Cyril could
So
possibly be a scout.
If a bird
we
could raise its eyebrows in a, oh, yes, I could be, it very much does this.
Where did this bird come from, by the way?
Abuelas.
Your grandma's house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I mentioned earlier that when I made landing, Cyril guided me to Abuela's. She's a friend who's been taking care of all of the non-raven birds out here.
We're sure she's a friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was alone and vulnerable, and she did not turn me in, attack me, turn me into a toad.
Turn you into a toad?
She's a hag.
Oh. Did you
And we're sure she's a friend?
do the password?
God. I'm an umpty sometimes, Caelum.
Sometimes?
I was worried about the rest of you. I had other things on my mind.
You didn't deny it.
Yes. I would very much like to cause a distraction very far away from this bird and see if I can sneak back to you.
Well, I don't think anybody should be alone. Why don't you and I cause a distraction? We all know how distracting I am.
I think it'd be a lot easier for Arjhan to escape if he wasn't worried about someone else. No offense, Gwen.
Okay, fair.
Arjhan, take Tikan with you. She'll be able to communicate with me.
Okay.
Sorry, I know they're a little creepy. And he'll snap his fingers and bring out his familiar.
Just a tiny little puppet appears that looks like a Shadarkai. Complete with the small mask, but it has like a little painted smile on it.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, that might not be a good idea.
Tikan like looks up at you when you say this, and it's just like raises little wooden puppet hands like, what the fuck?
Picks her up, coddles her.
Just like sort of like sidles into the pocket.
Do Serial and Takan get along?
Do you like set them next to each other? Like, here, let the babies play?
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, Sariel is more just like surprised that you have just summoned a small Shadarkai, and you hear them chirp loudly, Raven! And then like a light up to like a higher board in the curious cabin, and like look down, just like spying on this small Shadarkai.
Yeah, so I should definitely not have the bad.
Right.
I'll take the puppet.
Well, you can either take Tikan or I can loan you my pin, so at least you'll have 2 sendings on you.
I'll take the puppet.
Alright. Be good.
I'll take the puppet in the morning whenever we leave.
Okay. I'm gonna update her on what's going on.
Disguises? No disguises?
If you all take a disguise, that would probably be best. Would your disguise be able to limit your shininess?
Perhaps. I haven't tested it out yet. The shininess is kind of new.
You are
Do
muted.
we know what that is, by the way?
What?
The shininess?
Cori having this like golden line around her. Well, you can make an insight check or an arcana check,
I can make
Sure.
an check.
Who's doing the insight
religion
check?
check.
Insight. 18! Look at Gwen!
Look at you go! Your friend Cori has been through a lot, and that's putting it very lightly. One of the things that happened that you have heard about through this and that, through certain means, something, the mantle of Corellon, something. Corellon is like
Facts.
elven sun deity, and this is a plane that has no sun or moon.
Mm.
It is just
So
night.
it's, are you like, is this like your godly light now?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, it's not really conducive to, being normal. No offense.
It's gonna make stealth missions so much harder.
Have we ever actually done a stealth mission?
Not successfully.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not exactly the stealthiest person here.
This one might go better since I will be myself.
And not a... Yeah. boy, we get up to some shit, huh?
All right, so the plan so far is for Arjhan to make a distraction and for us to try and sneak in.
Yeah.
All right, sounds like it's gonna go badly right out the gate, so...
Oh, hold on. Hey, Cori.
Hmm?
I'm gonna polymorph you.
To what?
What happened to saving big spells?
We're going to sleep in a few hours.
Oh, you mean right now?
Yes. I just
Oh.
want to test something.
Wait, isn't that permanent after an hour?
No. That's the bigger one.
Doesn't the smaller one wear off after an hour?
Might be able to extend it if I took the right sorcery. Nope.
You still haven't explained why.
To see if your goldly light transfers over to your polymorph form.
Oh, this is kind of fun. I am never involved in magic bullshit.
What?
Yeah,
None of the magic bullshit that you guys get to do. You're always experimenting, blowing each other up on the beach. I never. got
I
to be
was
there for
not
that.
there for that.
Listen, this is my curiosity phase. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I don't think that phase ever ends.
turns to Cori, snaps his fingers, and turns her into a duck.
Ah!
Okay.
Do I need to make a save?
If you want, you could fail it.
I guess I'll fail it.
Okay.
Does she glow?
There is a faint golden aura about this duck.
Quack.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Hey, buddy.
Quack.
Ha! Do it again.
Quack.
Yes!
All right, well, there goes that.
Time for a new Corlon fact. No. Never mind. I take it back.
You said it. It's out in the open. Caelum, like...
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's not a spell that I know. Never mind. Okay. Non-detection.
Oh.
Oh.
Arjhan, you're
Cori.
casting on detection?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Hey, Cori, if you honk twice for yes, honk once for no. Do I have it? No, I don't. I have the mask of non-detection that I could loan Cori if they have the attunement for it.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, I don't think I do.
All right. Well, we
Quack,
could put a
quack.
tarp over them.
There's a blanket over Duck Cori.
Yeah, that seems to at least dampen the aura. The magpie is just watching this with just sheer, like, what is happening?
Well,
The lump stops moving.
if
Under the
anything,
Wait. Wait, I want to try something. Hold on. Gwen takes the blanket off of Cori, goes into a doorway, and like pulls up the blanket, pulls it down, pulls up the blanket, pulls it down, pulls up the blanket, runs around the corner, the blanket drops, and there's nothing there.
So first of all, like Duck Corey thought it was nighttime when the blanket was over him. So like the blanket comes off and it's just like quack 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 quack, and then just it's exactly how you'd expect. Corey jumps off the table and goes to investigate the blanket.
just plap, 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 plap.
And then Gwen jumps out.
Quack quack. Nips at your ankles.
Ow! Damn it.
I guess for the most part, then, Caelum's turning to Arjhan. We could throw some sort of cloak over Cori and dampen that light, but I don't have anything for this.
Quack.
Anyway, we'll reconvene in the morning. All right, good luck, Cori. That'll wear off in an hour.
Lay an egg.
beady duck eyes just staring at you. Quack!
Ah!
Caelum's still holding Tikan. I could dismiss it, but this is funnier.
You
Gwen
see
plays
Tikan,
with
like,
duck cord.
little shoulders jostle as if they are laughing as well.
I can give Cori my cloak of protection.
Fire attunement.
It does require attunement. I am not attuned to it right now. My thinking was, since Arjhan is bigger than Cori, and was attuned to it, is sized for him right now. If Cori wears it without attuning to it, it
Just
will be
like-
bigger than Cori.
Okay. So like
So he could possibly get around. A little bit better.
Little Clover.
put a blanket over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the invisibility cloak.
All right. Shoot, I'm willing to try.
Yeah, one way to do it.
Updates Tikan. Hey, so we're in the home plane. It's a bit dangerous. You're gonna go with Arjhan, the big dragon friend. Keep in contact with me in case anything goes wrong.
I will be sure to. Haha.
Pat, pat.
When you just see, like, little puppet just like, yay, I got head pats. They are but a small child. So, hour passes by. Cori,
Yeah.
you awaken.
An hour later, cut to the baths where Duck Cori is swimming in a little circle in a bathtub.
my- The bathtub that Gwen is in currently.
You're the worst. The hour dings and then just like flailing limbs, like splashing and spluttering. Cori is fully clothed.
Ah!
Ah! Ah! Faye steps
Ugh.
away and runs away, completely wet. Ah!
There's like no more water left in the bathtub.
No.
Cat, damn it!
Thankfully, as part of the curious cabin, no water in the bathtub. As you're saying this, just like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, it steadily just starts to, like, rise up again.
Oh hell yeah!
Gets to a perfect
Rinse
sitting.
his hair.
It bubbles with soap.
Ah.
Okay. So, long rests? Long rest? Long rest? Long rest? Chalkboards?
A long rest for the table.
Long rest for the table? Okay, okay. A round of long rests for
Will
everybody.
you have a long rest if I get a long rest for the table? Oh no, you'll.
Oh,
have a long rest.
if you get a long rest, can I I'll split that long rest with you?
If
You
it
only
was-
need 4 hours of long rest. I know you.
I'm gonna have a long rest myself because I'm a tired little bastard.
If only it was this easy to get parties to do long rest and Curse of Strahd.
We were in a different time. It's fine. So,
From a different era.
I was used to sleeping on down comforters.
long rest goes by uneventfully. Good.
Okay.
You wake up the next morning.
Cori finally gets to have a rest.
Cori's been trying this whole damn time, and for a point was turned into a duck because of it.
Cori rests up in the rafters.
Yeah.
Where no one will bother him.
Sariel joins you, just sort of like does the thing that birds do, where like they just like crook their head down into their own tufts. Get some sleepies in.
Amazing.
So, next morning, everything's fine. You wake up. You can have brekkie inside of this curious cabin. And when you go to open the door and you look out, you're not actually in a crevice. You're not in a place that you had dug out in the landscape yourself. It looks like opening the door, the forest has changed around you.
Uh-oh.
Exiting out onto this place, Gwen and Arjhan, there is that like heartbeat racing moment of like, oh fuck, is it gonna happen again as soon as I get out onto this? Make wisdom saves, the both of you.
Ooh. Cori's there.
+5.
Cori's there.
What is it? +5?
It is +5. Arjhan, also don't remember to roll your blood die.
It's a filthy, filthy 20.
9 on the blood die.
Bless.
17 on the whiz save.
You
Hell
both
yeah.
succeed on your wisdom saves.
I rolled a 3.
You're a ranger. It checks. So, you both feel that weight coming onto you, but now knowing that this is going to be a thing that you are going to be experiencing while in the Shadowfell, you're able to shake it off and have it not be as much of an issue. Like, you can still feel it trying to weigh down on you, but it is not a thing that you necessarily have to worry about at this point. However, exiting out of the doorway to the Curious Cabin, you can see what appears to be a dilapidated-looking watchtower that is next to what appears to be a bridge. And the bridge extends for about 10 feet over a ravine before it breaks off, and then it continues for about 60 feet until it reaches the other side.
We weren't here before, right? I'm not misremembering that.
No, this is different.
They
All right.
shit.
We're not in the Feywild.
We're in a different kind of fae.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Good news, not feeling super depresso espresso.
Good.
Just the normal amount of espresso. Arjhan?
So I'm gonna jump in the air.
Ah!
And which way to the castle?
Looking at the direction from where you had popped up into the air previously and seen, it looked like all you had to do was continue on like this a slight northwestern trajectory, and you would have hit the castle. At this point, it looks like you actually have to head east in order to get to the castle.
We need to go east. Is that on the direction of the bridge
It
in
is.
the ravine?
And Arjhan, as you sail into the air, you and Caelum, perceptions being high enough, actually see what looks like fingers coming up from the ravine, but they are not the fingers of a regular-sized individual. They seem like giant fingers, almost like the size of tree trunks that just seem to up, and then rumbling from inside of this ravine, you see a large creature, pallid-looking, almost bluish skin of giant proportions.
Does it notice us?
It seems to have noticed you in particular.
Insight?
Make an insight check.
While that's happening, Caelum grabs the scruff of Gwen's collar, the back of Cori's armor, and just yanks them backwards and down.
16.
Okay, with a 16, Arjhan, you especially would know this. This is a giant. You have seen giants before. This giant does not look alive. This giant very much looks dead. Like, eyes are like that pallid white color. Its jaw is sort of like off kilter. And it looks like it is like almost like making a defensive stance against you with these large open palms. And as it comes up, and it looks like it is getting ready to do like an arm thrust towards you, from the guard tower, a door opens. And coming out of this door, you see an individual wearing these blackened robes. Their hair is a wild white that is thick and actually like kind of like a tangled mess. And they have like a kind of like whitish goatee as well. And they come out, look at you, look over and see the group of you, and then yell something towards the giant. And from what you can hear, just smack, smack, no, Down! Down! Back to the ravine. Not them. We're looking for birds. You promised. Down. And this giant that was getting ready to do, like, the forward thrust just... and, like, moves hand back down. And then begins to move back down into the ravine. And this individual who looks human then looks up towards you, Arjhan, and the rest of your group, and just says, all right, fair question. Before anyone gets started, are you from Toramon? And 2, are you with the Ravens? You don't look like Ravens. If you are, Smack is going to do what his name says.
No.
No.
No. You?
Nope, of course not.
All right. Just wanted to get that out there. Thank you. Not being from Toramon, that makes my job incredibly easy. You don't look like you're from around here, and we don't exactly get visitors. Very
You could say we
often.
took a trip.
Arcane in nature.
Yeah,
Do you plan on leaving?
eventually, yes.
Good luck with that one. Now, I feel like I've been impolite. Hello, my name is Zeb. It's nice to meet all of you. You've already met Smack.
Zeb?
Yes?
Are you named after anything?
No. Not that I'm aware of. Should I have
Nice.
been?
Is anything named after you?
A few laws in Toramon, but for the most part, no. Primarily, how do I put this? I came here to, well, do some research. Owl Mask.
Could we cross the bridge so we're not yelling at each other?
I'm on your side of the bridge.
Oh, I did not understand.
Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The guard tower is on your side. It extends outward and then cuts off across the ravine. He says, I'm sorry for yelling. I just don't get very many people who aren't ravens trying to really come around here. As it would happen, the people of Toramon and the people of, well, hers don't exactly take too kindly to my specializations, as it were, in the arcane.
What exactly are you researching here?
Bones.
Had my money on necromancy.
Well, look. Inside this ravine are ancient, old, wonderful bones that I would like to get my hands on. And this is primarily because... Are you familiar with the whole... everything that happened that created this place, and then dragons and giants?
This is gonna take
go
very
through.
long because we have somewhere to be, actually.
Where do you have to go?
Points to the castle.
It won't take very long, necessarily. I have a question for all of you. Could you possibly assist me in something?
Maybe.
Again, we have somewhere to be.
I get that. Are you planning on going just the 4 of you, or do you require any additional reinforcements, or help, or any of these other such things?
See, this is like a you scratch our back, we scratch yours
Yes.
sort of situation.
Yes.
Unless you have an army hiding down in that ravine somewhere.
Given enough time, you never really know. However,
Okay.
No.
I'm very uncomfortable with this. What do you need?
there is inside this ravine was the last resting place of a very ancient, very powerful creature that I would like to be on good terms with. However,
What is the creature?
Huh?
What is the creature?
Its name is the Ghost King.
Extrapolate.
How do I put this? Back when I was actually getting to that before you cut me off the first time. There are the rifts in the sky, right? And then that all happened. Dragons, giants went in. They were going to put a stop to it. They did. Excellent. We followed suit. Well, the Hogrin people, we decided to come in here, settle down, that sort of thing. Now, the Ghost King was a dragon at a time. Dragon went through, along with a few individuals from the Hogrin kingdom. One thing led to another. The dragon became a little bit more arcane inclined upon reaching a point of past undeath. Thanks in large part to other wizards with a more necrotic alignment, such as myself.
My god, the dragon's a lich.
Would that it was that simple. Now imagine if, say, one of the liches that helped this dragon become a lich somehow managed to find not only his spirit, but the spirit of another individual, all inside of the same Draco-lich.
Where
Short
are your
one.
research notes?
Wait, are you the lich?
Not yet, but that's an end goal for another time.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Now,
Okay.
the Ghost King has been in this land since its very beginning, back when the people of Hogrin were still fighting against the Raven Queen. They have a connection to the spirit world that exists here in the Shadowfell. Certain spirits can't really leave so much as they just go to an adjacent ethereal plane that is like like two sides of the same coin. If the Shadowfell was a coin, it would be like the same. You get what I'm trying to say. So
No.
Heard about this, except in the one I've heard about, it was a vampire.
if you can introduce us, I have notes I'd like to share. You there,
You're not-
Owl Mask, you also said that you would like to see my research notes. I'm willing to share them on the condition that you agree to go into that ravine to help me. I've been trying to go for a while, but ravens come by. I have to be here in case anything happens to Smack, because if anything happens to Smack, then I am left borderline defenseless against not only the ravens, but against the people that I may or may not have come to a disagreement, several disagreements involving law-abiding citizenry over in Tor Amon.
You
You're
okay?
saying
So
all
you want
the
us?
wrong things.
You really are. You want us to go into the ravine to do what actionable thing?
There is an altar, a shrine, I believe, to the Ghost King down in the ravine. If you were to go and speak with the Ghost King, listen to them on my behalf of something that they want, they seem like the kind of individual that would be willing to then assist. I am trying to get in contact with them because I think they're super cool and would like to greatly know them on a more personal level. Receive boons, inspiration, that sort of thing. I would like this. Me, Zeb.
Caelum turns to the group, motions for them for a group huddle.
One moment.
I also liked no, like in the group huddle. I also liked Coralon an awful lot. And if I am any example of where this is going, I don't like where
Never
this is
met your
going.
heroes. Okay. Hear me out. if we do this thing for them, maybe we can get Smack to go run a rampage somewhere, so we don't have to have Arjhan move along.
He seems pretty attached to Smack.
The researcher in Smack. Also, I get it now. No one likes researchers.
Sorry.
So, we want to do this thing or we don't want to do this thing?
Well, that's what I call the group huddle for, because Arjhan, I understand you have feelings about this sort of thing.
I hate everything that's about to happen.
Hold on, let me check something. Like, Cori, like, sticks his head up from the huddle and, like, glares at the guy. Divine Sense.
He just gives you a polite, like, yes, help me kind of wave. Divine Sense, he kind of has an undead feel to him.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, just a little bit of a stinky face and then, like, you know, duck back into the huddle. Cori says, he's not undead, but he's got the stink about him. No offense, Caelum.
Bathed yesterday.
What?
I bathed yesterday. Right.
Is this the ravine where I saw the cool armor?
This ravine is near where you did see cool armor, yes.
If these people have been fighting the Raven Queen for however long this Zeb has been talking about, maybe they have weapons we could use.
Do we know a Zeb or am I remembering that wrong?
Seb, S-E-B, was
Zeb.
my previous familiar.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Sorry.
If we get pointed out in the direction of the altar, it's entirely possible I could make it there and back undetected. I also have a very quick way out of the ravine that won't use any resources.
Caelum pops his head up from the group. What are we to expect down there?
Well, rightfully, and as you're saying this, Zeb is like rolling some bones and looking at them, and then like looks back at you and like puts the bones, like scoops them up rather quick. It says, rightfully, I am not sure. Like I said, I'm pretty sure, mostly positive, I know that there are a lot of bones down there. Whether or not the bones are active remains to be seen. If they are, it's not because of me. I'm throwing that one out there right now. The only thing that I have been maintaining my concentration on is Smack. Now,
Caelum ducks his head back without letting him finish. You're right, Arjhan. I hate every bit of this. But if you can get in there stealthily.
Do you
How
want me
far
to
is
tell
the
him off?
altar?
well, by my calculations, by what I have received information for, it is roughly about 150 feet down.
Specifically
Down,
down.
and then in there, somewhere. Like I said, I don't know where exactly.
Holy shit, dude. You do not know anything.
No, that's
about
why I'm asking for help. I assumed that we had similar goals. I don't like the Raven Queen. You're going to her castle. You're not one of her ravens. I thought that this was going to be a mutually beneficial thing.
You are so bad at this. If I go over the ravine, do I see anything?
Looking down into the ravine, You see, like, Smack is currently, like, holding on to the side of the ravine on the inside, looking like an enemy who nothing has, like, come near their threat range, so that way they can activate their motions yet. Other than that, it looks like it just sort of goes down into a darkness. But you can see that there are, like, coming up from the darkness, there do look to be rather large-looking bones.
I have an idea.
Oh boy.
Should I be concerned?
Does it require a lot of resources?
On my end, it's everything. I can recover it pretty easily. Outlining my plan right now. So, to keep you all in the loop. 1. I use locate object to find the altar. 2. Dimension down to it. If it's within 150 feet, I will know exactly where it is.
Within 1,000 feet. I have locate object and my spell slots are much less valuable.
Okay.
I cast describe the altar. Can you at least do that?
Yes. So, the altar as itself, from what I understand, is made of blue dragon horn. Now, all blue dragons have, like, the front horn that seems to be sticking
Speed
out.
it up.
Sorry. Blue dragon horn, it is inscribed with the name of the Ghost King. Well, rather, the 3 names. The 3 names of the Ghost King being Yarskirk, Hephaestus, and Cadderley. Each one of them is a member of the Ghost King. This is sort of a marker for them. This thing has, again, 3 spires. It's very much a perfect shape, right? Like 3 perfect angles jutting up from the ground, written and inscribed with all sorts of things that one would normally associate with this kind of thing.
I cast locate object. Is it within 1,000 feet?
It is within 1,000 feet.
If I cast Pass Without a Trace on myself from my bow and make my way over there stealthily, do I see it?
You have to go into the ravine in order to find it. However,
I have 90 feet of dark vision.
yes, you are able to see it. It's sort of like tucked into a at least that what you're getting from it is that there is like a cavern entrance, and you know that it is like a straight shot down this cavern.
I'll be right back.
All right, be careful.
Hey, Arjhan. Call us if you need help.
31 for stealth.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Pass Without Trace is silly. I love all this bullshit. So, Arjhan, you don't want to fucking deal with this necromancer. All of this seems like bad plan. You go into the ravine, reach the bottom, and as you reach the bottom, you can see that there are like things that kind of like scurry around within these bone piles, but none of them seem to have noticed you. You don't think anything has noticed you at this point?
Do I notice them?
You definitely notice the scurrying things.
Yeah, what are those?
You wish you could call them rats, and you wish that you could call them things like possums. These are varmints. TM. In that they have the makeup and look of critters, but they're like a little too humanoid almost, but they still have the like muzzles and snouts of the like carrion nibblers. They're very strange to behold.
I am shadow sneaking to this thing and not engaging.
Yeah, they just look like
Anyway.
they're like gnawing on an old bone kind of thing. Like they don't, again, seem to have paid any attention to you. So you enter into this cavern. You approach what you assume. Oh, laws of gods and men! Thank you so much for the raid! You enter into this cavern, and proceeding down to the end of such, you see, just as it was described, this large triangle-shaped pillar that seems to jut up from the ground that has 3 small columns that are on one small column on either of these points, and inscribed along the columns are the names Yaraskirk, Catterley, and Hephaestus. As you are looking at this blue dragon's horn that was turned into said pillar is about as tall as you are. Thank you for the follow, Antron. And also has what looks to be like arcane sigildry written upon it. It is written in Draconic, and as you are reading it, it looks like this is it's almost like the first half of a call and response, in which, when reading it, you call out for assistance from, and then you recite one name. You call out from assistance from, repeat the second name, call out from assistance from the third, and then upon the top of the pillar, it says the Ghost King. Reading such, if you would like.
I need help from Hephaestus and everybody else.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check. 25. So you call out to all of these, and at the end of the cavern, what once was just this solid mass of stone begins to... It looks almost like fog begins to roll out of the crooks and crevices of this stone wall, and as it does, it fills this back wall until you can see what looks to be a large bone-edged claw making its way into the cavern. As this creature enters, you can see that it has the skeletal makeup of what once was a red dragon, where instead of where its eyes should normally be, there are just these vast empty sockets of darkness that seem to still be capable of tracking things that are here. It has this almost white translucent skin that seems to be draped over it, although it has, again, more of like a whitish texture than it does a red dragon's texture, but you can still tell what it was. And this creature says, "Who calls to us?"
Shit, I need to pull out my titles.
Astromedic, thank you for the raid.
Shit, where are my titles?
You think he's okay down there?
Arjhan Yodar's, founder of Tyrant Security, edge the Obsidian Tyrant Torlane, Yodar's adversary of the Bronze Lord, son of the Great Mother and Herald of the Scale Tyrant Tiamat, on behalf of another. I forgot his name already.
And you hear a rattling chuckle that seems to come from this creature. Just
Tarlaine, how's the young whelp doing?
He got older and died.
Good. Good for him. Now, you come here seeking assistance from us on behalf of another. For what do we owe this? Who is this other?
I think his name's like Zeb.
I have not heard of this Jeb.
He's a conjurer. He thinks you're really cool.
Oh. You hear that? He thinks we're really cool.
The dragon says, like, to itself, but using a different voice. Just, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think that he thinks you're cool, Yaroshkirk. Just,
Sorry. It's a little crowded in here. Assistance for a conjurer. Question. Arjhan. Do you seek assistance? You smell fresh. No. Interesting.
I'm not here to make a contract for myself.
On behalf of another, then?
He just wants to talk to you, as far as I know.
Interesting.
Do you require something for that? If so, I can relay that.
If he is able to come here and speak with me himself, I am always willing to listen. We are always willing to listen. Yes, sorry, we are always willing to listen.
except sometimes I really don't have the mood for it.
Well, so long as the Ravens keep attacking, he's not going to be able to do that.
Ravens.
Do you have an issue with that?
Yes, I have an issue with ravens.
We are attempting to do something about that. If you would like to offer your assistance, we would accept it, but we are not here to form a contract. We are going to do this thing whether or not you offer your help.
I will offer my help on one condition. We will
Then
offer
no.
our help. Yes, we. So, God, we will offer our help.
Do what you want. I'm not here to accept any conditions.
The only condition that I ask.
And there's the chorus of reminding Hephaestus that it is we, not I.
The only question.
Discovering your pronouns is very difficult. I understand that.
You think that we would have had time for this by now.
It takes a long time, a lot of experimentation.
It really does. Do you feel like you will be successful in your endeavor?
Heh.
I can assist. I, Hephaestus, not Yaroshkirk, whatever your fucking name is. We've been through this. Yaroshkirk. Whatever. We can lend our assistance. If it would help bring an end to she that hates so deeply our kind.
And they bring a claw up and grab a hold of one of their ribs. And you hear a cracking sound. And they place a chunk of their rib in front of them. And then with two talons begin to like clack away at it. But as they do, you see that there are arcane sigils that are being placed upon this.
Before you get too far ahead of yourself, I don't know that that the end result of what we intend to do is completely aligned with what you expect.
Why else are you going to the castle? To have tea biscuits.
I'm here to correct a wrong. Assuming that ends successfully, there will be less ravens for you to worry about. And I'll do a little bow and dismiss myself.
The Ghost King says,
Do you not wish for a gift? It would allow you to bolster your forces.
If I accept this gift,
Freely given.
That's a choice of words with some trauma attached to it. Excuse me.
This totem would allow you to speak with the dead, to communicate with the spirits that lie beyond my soldiers. They would treat you as friend, and they would fight for you. If you are going to this castle and are in need of assistance, you may accept this. Again, it is yours to take. I do not require any contract for charity. Otherwise, send Job or whatever his name is down here, and I'm sure that he would enjoy collecting it.
and at that you see the Ghost King sort of turn and begin walking into the fog behind it. And there's just this piece of rib that is on the ground.
Caelum can read Draconic. I'll pick it up
Okay.
and sneak my way back up.
Yeah.
Character growth.
Sneak your way back up.
Oh, I'm not using this. Fuck that. Caelum can read Draconic.
Yeah. So on top of this ravine, Zeb is in the middle of explaining why there are several laws that have been named after him, unless anyone is stopping him. The first one, again, involves unburial practices.
So,
Cori is listening intently and like writing something down, and like at some point like shows what they're writing to Gwen, and at the top it just says reasons not to trust this guy.
Zeb, I've heard of raising a family, but that's ridiculous.
Look, they said it was hard. I proved them wrong. All you had to do was make sure they were all buried next to each other, and it really wasn't that difficult.
I have conflicted feelings about this.
About what? I asked for help. You said yes. It's incredible.
No,
Good
no,
charity and all of that.
no,
Oh,
no.
thank the
I
gods.
meant the. Oh, hey, Arjhan. Thank you. Hi, how'd it go?
How did it go? Did you mention my name? Did you let him know that I think he's cool?
If you want to talk to the Ghost King, you're going to have to go do it yourself. I'm sure that will be easier whenever we deal with this.
Yes. Please, do this thing. Did he say anything else? You say I was doing good work? That he was excited to see me? Did you talk me up at all?
Caelum, I got you this.
Take that as a no.
Takes the rib, looks at the Draconic and starts reading it to himself.
Yep. Yeah, Caelum, make an Arcana check.
29.
29. So looking at it, this is very much a dragon bone. You are not necessarily familiar with dragon bones, but guessing off of what you have learned of the Ghost King, this seems very on par with that, as well as the Draconic script. That, and it seems like the bone itself is coursing with this raw elemental energy, even though the element that it is associated with is more of like a necrotic element and not so much a standard element.
Caelum shifts very uncomfortably as he's holding it. Oh.
Break bone in case of emergency, sort of thing.
Alright.
It was freely given.
That's good. How are you feeling?
Gross.
Yeah.
But hey. Side quest apparently done and no resources expended.
We should do that more often.
Should I go cause a distraction now?
Actually, I think with this, I could cause the distraction. Meet up with all of you inside the Citadel.
Do you want to just, like, do it here and then we run ahead while they...
RJ's not gonna be here next week, so...
Doing it here sounds awfully inconvenient for our good friend Zed.
It's Zeb, but that's all right.
Leans down to Gwen. I thought it was pleb.
I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore.
I'm gonna go summon an undead army to raise hell.
You're gonna bring hell here?
Well, no. Although, by the looks of things, it couldn't hurt.
Alright, let's kick this
Left in
bitch.
hell. Sorry, we both just
I'd
quit
pref-
at the exact same time.
Honestly, I prefer hell.
Yeah, it's a lot more pleasant.
Is it really?
Kinda.
I kind of want to go there now. I mean, honestly, anywhere but this place seems rather neat.
Cori's gonna approach Zeb, sensing that we're about to leave, and just sort of like poke him straight in the middle of his chest with a gauntlet, and say, "Necromancy can be funny business. Just want you to know, I'm the Caelum of the Fallen Leaves and also the Mantle of Coralon. So tread lightly and pray you don't draw my attention again."
Counter offer. None of those things mean anything to me.
It's very impressive. If you knew what it meant.
Hold on. I feel like I feel the need to do something here.
Uh-oh.
How many fucking... Would you say we could get a short rest after this?
It's entirely up to you guys.
I wouldn't count on that. Look, this guy is irrelevant. Let's just walk away.
Can I glow on command?
Yeah, I'd say that you could definitely do that. It's just like, as you begin to glow on command, you see his like eyes go wide and then just get very concerned and says, "Yes, we all know prestidigitation." He snaps his fingers and he also begins to glow.
Cori just repeats himself, but this time like has like a weird godly voice and says, "Pray you don't." draw my attention again.
Thaumaturgy. You're really going outside the book on this one.
Cori rolls his eyes and walks away, just like muttering to himself, like, this motherfucker.
How can I get on the Ghost King's good side? He says, like, hand on his chin, just like walking towards.
Go talk to him.
But I get really nervous.
Just
really
be
tempting
yourself
to-
and talk to him.
It's really tempting to just punt him into the ravine.
Caelum is going to turn to the rest of the group. So, wait for things to kick off and then make your move.
Yeah.
All right, don't undie. We need you for the spell, okay?
If anything, if I do, I'll reform right next to Arjhan in 1 to 10 days.
Gross. Cool.
Okay. And as Caelum, you have the Ghost King's totem, and the rest of the party tries their absolute hardest not to kick this necromancer into a ravine. I think that's where we will call it for tonight's session. So, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. This is a great show, but I always have a great time whenever any of these folks are on the channel. RJ, you said that you're gonna be gone next week, but like other than that, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. You can catch me here on Mondays, but not next week, as Caelum the Shatterkai Wizard. Hey, on Thursdays, we are finished with our Elegant Magic campaign. It ended off really good. Everyone got married, again. We're starting a game of Urban Shadows to give our facilitator a break. And I will be playing the Aware, and you might have seen him before if you were here on Wednesdays. It's Riley Fitzgerald. Also, Saturdays over at GGK once more. You can catch me, no, not this week, but rotating Star Power and Mistborn games. Star Power is done in Fate. Finally, on Sundays, catch me over at the Hype Goblins channel in the morning, where we do another 5e homebrew campaign. And perhaps maybe LBHackEmUp's, well, I have to confirm what's going on. Anyway, thenakeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches, where I will tweet when I go live on whatever channel I'm on. Mondays nights, I'm here. Tuesday afternoons, I'm on my channel. Gonna be going back to Dead by Daylight for their new update. And then tomorrow evening on GGK, we're gonna be doing The Burbs, which is a was a Call of Cthulhu game, is now a Savage World game, but it is a time loop game, so it's very fun. Thursday on the channel, they're doing I think Elder Scrolls. Friday, back to Friday Night Frights, where we are going to be finishing up our game of At Dead of Night, which we are gonna finish, and it's gonna be great. We're totally gonna live. And then back GGK on Sunday afternoons, and back for masks on LBHackEmUp on Sunday evenings. thenakeener.com.
Wait, I'm Cyber. You can find me here on Mondays. That's it. That's really it. You can also find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/cyber1, spelled really weird. I don't know what I'm going to be doing this month. Probably going back to Oblivion, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. But I do know, and I know that I need to spend a lot of this month planning for the 1201 charity stream that I do every year. I'm going to be donating $100 to a whole bunch of charities, and then also anything that comes in is also going to be forwarded to charity and matched by my company. So that's cool. That's all going to be done on, I think it's December 3rd. It's the first Saturday of December. So stay tuned for that. Go follow and everything. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/cyber1201. Right now, the only thing that's really being posted there are the campaign diaries for my Sunday D&D game, which is we just finished the Frozen Sick Adventures, so now we're going to be going into Rime with the Frost Maiden, but still set in Isocross. Yeah. I just finished my only other thing, which was the running Urban Shadows on High Shelf Collective. That's all. So those VODs are going to be trickling out into their YouTube over the next few weeks, months. I'm not really sure about the VOD schedule. Like, comment, and subscribe there to youtube.com. I don't know if it's / the High Shelf Collective or not, but you can find them if you look hard enough. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter, where there's a pinned tweet that has my schedule and you can see all the things that I'm up to, so go check it out. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. It looks like we are watching RJ go through a paranormal investigation. This is actually rather incredible. If you made it this far, you probably already know who I am. If you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But for now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/IndoorAdventures, and you can get all of those questions answered in time. But for now, we are going to be heading out, so I'd like to say thank you again to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these wonderful players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!